everyone, it's your friend Think Noodles and welcome to Ask Think for Monday, February 16th, 2015. And my goodness, it is so cold here, guys. I can't even explain to you how cold it is. I posted on Twitter, if you guys saw my weather app, and it was 1 degrees Fahrenheit, feels like negative 23 Fahrenheit, which to those of you guys in Celsius, that is minus 31 degrees Celsius. Unbelievably cold, like pain with any part of your skin exposed to the wind kind of cold. Like not even, it doesn't feel cold anymore, it just hurts. Anyway, guys, let's get on to something a little bit less depressing and freezing. And I asked you guys a question last week, and it was, when you guys go on road trips, what do you do? And the first thing is when Katy Perry, guys, look at 37 upvotes, because obviously this is what she does on her tour buses. Whenever she's on a road trip, never really happens. I guess she flies. She doesn't really take road trips. But anyway, she just goes on YouTube and watches me with her headphones for the rest of the trip. It's like having a marathon. And I can't believe that Katy Perry watches me when she has nothing else to do. That is, wow, that's awesome. I know it's not really Katy Perry, guys, by the way. Andrew Gordon says, if I'm on a long road trip, I usually try to get all the truck drivers we pass to honk. For some reason, it amuses me until the truck driver who refused to honk for you starts driving right next to you at the same speed. I remember this as a kid, too. I used to love to do that with my friends. We'd sit in the back seat, and anytime we pass a truck or we'd be right near him, we'd do that thing. And I don't know why, but I think that's how you honk a truck. I don't know. Maybe you put your hand in the air, and it looks like you're pulling down on a rope above your head, kind of. And that's how they, like, I'm doing it right now. That's how they honk the horn, or at least we thought. And we would do that, and they would honk their horn sometimes, and also sometimes not. And they give you these dirty looks, and then drive right next to you at the same speed. Andrew Whitcomb says, on road trips or just in general, I like to listen to Billy Joel. Yes, he's old, and I'm 14, but he's a music legend. And he sings the tune of Piano Man, and that's a great song. And even for someone who's 14, you usually do not hear them listening or even wanting to listen to Billy Joel. Crazy Chimp 91 says, I usually just play Geometry Dash on his tablet or punch my sister in the arm and say one thing, Arkansas, or whatever state we aren't in. You sound very annoying. And that's a thing, like, guys. So it turns out that you guys are pretty annoying on road trips. So Perky Noodle says, give me a minute. Mom, what do I do on road trips? Annoy me. Okay, thanks. Exactly. And Purchasing's YT says, oh, brother, road trips are very common. This is what I do. Open my window and scream out, I like ducks. Annoying my parents with, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Use my phone and then get dizzy and throw up in a plastic bag as usual. That's not annoying. That's just car sickness, although not very pleasant. Put up the music, open all the windows, and people look at us like, turn the music down. I'm like, no, I love my music. And what you gonna do about it? Tries to hold pee while in the highway, hopefully successful. Calls my mom's number, which is in the car, and she reaches for it and slaps her hand saying, you're driving. And then I say, pick up the phone, it's me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I fart a lot in the car when we're there. I pretend to fall asleep so my parent can carry me. Oh man, you are such a troll in the car. Nyan Pegasus says, I like to play Annoy Your Brother. The rules of the game to annoy your brother to the point where he's about to explode. Not explode, because that might get messy, but just almost. When she's bored on a school road trip, she plays Crossy Road. Molly Marie says on a road trip, when she's bored, it's like she goes hyper, starts shouting on the top of her voice and singing, and the most annoying, asking friends to tell them a fact, and then say why. And then when they answer again, then say why, then why, then why, then why, then why, then why, then why, until they burst with anger and burst with laughter. Tina Al-Kayed says, well, I sing road trip songs like 99 buckets of slime on the wall, 99 buckets of slime. You take one down, you pass it around, 98 buckets of slime on the wall, which is a great song. And believe me, I've sang that a million times myself. Sharky Star Studios says, I sit in the trunk. It's a Kia and eat snacks and use electronics. Do you really mean the trunk? Because that's just not, maybe like, I don't know that. I don't think that's the right word. Because if your parents put you into the trunk on road trips, doesn't sound right. The next person says, let me think. Ask my mom and dad. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And I used to do that too. Although I didn't do it like on like Lisa and Bart do on The Simpsons, where they say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? It would be more whiny, like, Mom, are we there yet? And then she would say no. And then, oh, are we there yet? Like that, rather than, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Sammy May asks, what do I do when I'm bored on a road trip? Well, she didn't ask, she answered. I don't know why I did it that way. But anyway, I charged my phone because I was bored before and drained my battery. Sort of what I'm doing right now. Danielle Beta says, well, when I'm on road trips, it usually ends up like this. I stare and stare and stare outside the window. Then I realize I have my Game Boy, so I get it out. And I realize I have no games with me, so I stare and stare out the window, and then at my Game Boy. Then I realize I have my iPod, and I get it out. Then I realize it isn't charged, so I stare and stare and stare at my Game Boy, iPod in the window. Then I realize my mom has her phone on her, but she's busy talking to grandma. So I stare at my mom, my iPod, at the Game Boy, and out the window. And this goes on the next couple of hours of the book. Like maybe I grabbed the wrong one, like my mom's book or my sketchbook, no pencil or something. A couple of people said that they sleep on road trips, which is, Kopi could have bet one of those answers. As soon as she gets into the car, as soon as it starts moving, she's laying down on the seat and going straight to sleep. Brendan Fingal says, play with fire. Ha 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 ha. Wow. All right, Brendan. Well, as far as what I usually do, I mean, when we take road trips, it's either my wife or I driving, or sometimes we split the drive. So a lot of times I'm driving during road trips because whenever we take them, usually my wife is just having come off work that morning and we go straight on the road trip. So she's tired. So she sleeps in the car while I drive. If I'm in the passenger seat, I usually, look up stupid facts on Wikipedia on my phone. I don't know why. I'll just like say, hey, do you think this or that or the other? And she's like, I don't know. And so I'll go on Wikipedia and go, oh yeah, look at that. It really is, ducks really do hate platypuses or something. I don't know, but just really weird stuff. So the question for next week comes from Crystal Pretty Wing, and it's very, very simple. It is, what's your favorite snack? That's it. You don't have to say why, but if you have a really unique reason as to why, because usually your favorite snack is like, it's my favorite snack because it tastes good. But if you have like a really good story or reason, go ahead and tell it. Now, before we get to the questions from me, don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. Now, remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, just go to the most recent Ask Think in the playlist and ask your question there. Now on to the questions. And the first one is referring to last week's video. And it was that I think I told you guys that I went to Dave & Buster's. And people are like, what? Which one did you go to? And some people were like, do you live in Arizona? But no, I live in New York. And I was at the Dave & Buster's in Long Island near Roosevelt Field. Edward Cullen LPS says, hey, did you and Think's wife do anything for Valentine's Day? My parents went to a concert. Well, I mean, so my wife and I have this tradition that we do every Valentine's Day because New York City on Valentine's Day is kind of a crazy thing. All the restaurants charge this prefix menu. You're usually they usually split the tables so that you're sitting like literally right next to two other people. I mean, there's no space and it's expensive and hard to get a reservation for a good meal. It's just this whole production that we really just never have been interested in. And so I think for years, I can't even think of, we were talking about it last night because last night was Valentine's Day because I'm recording this on Sunday. But we were talking about it and we've been doing it at least for 7, 8, 9 years probably. So what we do is we go and buy some fresh lobsters and then some fresh fruit and some chocolate. And we have this little pot that we heat with a candle underneath that heats the chocolate so it's melted, and we dip the well, that's dessert. Why do I skip ahead to dessert? We have steamed lobsters, and then after that we do the fresh fruit and slice it and then dip it in chocolate for dessert. So that's what we always do, and we did it last night too. Silver Dennis says, since when does your wife have a Twitter? She's had a Twitter account ever since I think the first video I put her in. The reason being that I knew that if I didn't, because I had gotten her username in Minecraft as Think's wife. So I thought, okay, this was a problem for me, losing out on some of the usernames. So I'm going to grab them all for her. So I grabbed her, YouTube /Think's wife. I grabbed her Twitter /Think's wife, and a bunch of different things. And obviously Minecraft as well, because I didn't want that to happen. So yeah, she's had a Twitter, I don't know, about a year. Doesn't use it much though. I try and get her to, but I don't know. Peter Thostenson said, did you ever have braces? If you did, what different processes or issues did you need fixed? I did have braces for a couple of years, and it was just spacing issues, specifically on the bottom. And once I got them off, my teeth were super straight and they look great, and they're still pretty straight, but I didn't wear my retainers because when I got my braces off, it was only like 6 months, and then I went to college, and I don't know, nobody wore retainers. So I didn't feel like wearing my retainers, and it didn't fit well. And I didn't feel like going back to the orthodontist to have it fit better. So it kept popping off, and I was like, forget it. So I just stopped wearing it. And so now my bottom row of teeth, like they're still pretty straight, but they're like the two in the middle here are a little bit crowded. Akira Jack asks, what do you do when you're alone? Well, I'm alone right now, and this is what I do. Usually when my wife is home, I don't do any recording or editing unless I've run out of time and I have to, or like the last Think's Lab that had her in, I had to get her to come home, do the lines, and then I had to edit it and fit her lines in to the spaces allotted. But usually, yeah, this is what I do. I play games and record videos. Jelly Jammer asks, have you ever tried using an animation software like Blender? I've used the trial of Cinema 4D before to make some thumbnail stuff, and I've even gotten rigs from people. I could never make a rig myself, and I still am really terrible at it. So Walty Studios asks, what's your favorite season of the year? And he wanted to be the question of the week, but the thing about that is there's really only 4 seasons, and for some people in like Asia, they're like, or anyone on the equator, there actually is not really winter, spring, fall, and summer. They really just have wet and dry season. So there'd be a lot of repeats. It would be like, okay, the first 50 people say summer, and the second, 25 people say winter. But okay, I'm going to answer it myself. So it really depends on what season we're in. Right now we're in winter. It's super duper cold. So I would say my favorite season is probably summer because I want the heat back. But when it's hot and crazy in the summer, like, oh, it's so hot, I wish it was winter. So, I guess fall and spring are kind of like the in-betweens. And I guess if I had to choose above all of them, I would say spring is my favorite because you're finally getting out of that cold and it's starting to warm up. A couple of people ask about Sims 4, and it comes out, I think, tomorrow for you guys, which would be Tuesday. So I'm planning on putting it on Thursday after Survival, but we'll see. Jamakin MC asks, have you ever been laser tagging? It's amazing. I'd rate it a 10 out of 10. And I wish I could do it more often, but why is it so expensive? Yes, I have, of course. When I was in high school, there was a place called Qzar that was a laser tag place, and I loved it. And it was so, so fun. But yeah, it was expensive. I mean, and probably it's a lot more now. I forgot. It was like, I feel like it was like $8 a game, and each game had to be 10 minutes at the most. So you could burn through your allowance really fast. Moran Kamal says, can you make a series where you play with subs? And Sheena 1234ization kind of identifies it correctly. And yes, it would not go over well because everyone would be jealous that I chose those people and not them. And it wouldn't be fair to anyone. And I wouldn't even know how to choose. So I'm really sorry. Cool Rosie says, if Apple made a car, could it have windows? And this is like a common joke, right? Because, they mean Windows like Microsoft Windows. It's kind of funny, right? But while it's a joke, there have been some rumors that Apple's developing an automobile. I don't really know the specifics on it, and they're rumors and really like nothing substantiated, but it could, I mean, from what people are pointing at and pointing to, that Apple is either trying to develop their own car or working with a manufacturer and having really, really intimate input into one of their cars. Proud Blaze MC asks, was the name Kevin chosen by you or your fans? Kevin was actually chosen by me. Dave was chosen by my fans, by you guys. But Kevin, I introduced him in that video, and I actually really didn't even intend for him to stick around originally. I just thought he'd be a visitor, but he became so popular so quickly we had to keep him. But yeah, I chose it. Cat Tastical asks, why did you name Kopi Kopi? And this had 36 upvotes. And actually, I should have talked about this at the beginning. I'm sorry, guys. Speaking of upvotes, I had a really hard time with the questions this week because for some reason, YouTube is deleting way more comments than normal. So what I suggest you guys do is like your own comments and like each other's comments. Give them a thumbs up so that I get to see more comments to answer, because it was horrific this week. Really, really bad what they did. But anyway, this one had 36 upvotes. And the reason I named it Kopi is because I love coffee, first of all. And second of all, she got off the couch just now. Second of all, she was a pretty hyper puppy when we first got her, kind of like she drank a lot of caffeine, so it fit. Dragos Lup asks, wait, when I say this, I am dead serious. Okay, I had cupcakes this morning for the first time ever. I thought it would taste like cake, which I hate, but it tasted great. So my point is, do you like cake or do you like cupcakes or cake more? So first of all, I'm really sorry that you lost that part of your life without cupcakes. I mourn those lost years, but now you can embrace them. But so I have to think about that. Honestly, yeah, I think I like cupcakes more, but cake is tough for me because if it's good cake, where it's nice and moist and it's got a lot of flavor, then yes, I do like it. Some cakes I really don't. But if I had to choose between them, I would choose a cupcake over a cake. Allison Robles or Robles asks, does Kopi ever wake you up in the middle of the night? Yeah, pretty much every single night. Depends on the time or her method, but nearly every night she wakes us up. Usually, sometimes it'll be around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and she'll walk over to my wife's side and put her face on the bed and give a little like that. She blows out of her nose and makes a noise. And if my wife doesn't wake up, then Kopi puts her front paws on the bed. And that usually shakes the bed enough, because she weighs 60 pounds, that my wife wakes up. And that means to my wife, Kopi wants in bed. So she moves over on the toward the middle, and then Kopi finds her spot. Now, if it's 1 or 2 in the morning, Kopi will sleep down by our feet. She'll curl up against one of our legs or something like that. If it's closer to 4, because we get up around 4 a.m. every morning. So if it's, between 3 and 4, Kopi decides, okay, I want to get in bed, but I'm actually kind of hungry. So let's see if we can wake him up. And if I can wake him up, maybe he'll feed me. So what she does then is, so she moves my wife over so she can climb on the bed. Then she walks over my wife and gets between us, and then sort of like scratches my pillow, licks my face, breathes on me, anything to wake me up. And then if I get up, obviously I'm going to feed her, but I never do. But she always thinks that I might. I don't know why, but she always does. I usually, at that point, grab my pillow and pull it all the way over to the edge of the bed and face away from her. And that's the signal to her, okay, he's going back to sleep. So then she lays between us, usually I don't know which way or why. Sometimes her face will be on my pillow, and then sometimes she'll put her butt on my pillow and her face on my wife's pillow. But yeah, every single night. Olga Monroy asks, have you ever thought of changing your intro? No, not really. The reason being, it's kind of like I don't know. It's a brand, that's a thing that just happens on every video. There's no reason. I think when I first made it, I was like, oh, I should make a Minecraft one. I should make a cliffhanger one. I should make like a bunch of different ones. And then I was like, you know what? why do I need all these different ones? So I thought I'll just do this one. And then, yeah, I just decided to leave it. I like it. And the one thing I have thought about, though, is dropping it entirely. I don't really need it, but I don't know. I'm so used to it. And I think you guys are too. Ella Nisker asked, do you take notes a lot or have to-do lists or make lists about organization with your videos and your job? Well, usually if I'm on a business call, I'm always typing notes, always, because there are things that happen during the conversation, especially if there's a group of people. Usually when I have a business call, there's 3 or 4 people on the line. So they're all talking, telling a story, just talking about what they need me to do or whatever. And each person gives their input and, you get parts of each story or parts of everything all together. And they're like, okay, wait, they didn't touch on that. So once they're done, then I have my questions to ask. As far as organization with my videos, I mean, yeah, like the minion names, things like that. I have those all organized in a list. All of your suggestions for Think Slabs and things, those are in a little folder. Yeah, I do. I really do. Because if you don't, you're really gonna forget things, drop things. And even still, when I have all this stuff and all these notes, I still forget things and drop things. Raspberry Gaming says, I was watching your Minecraft piece, Skyblock, and I was pulling something out of the back of my mouth that was bothering me and hurting. I finally got it out and it's bleeding. I think I'm about to part of my tooth and I'm scared. What do I do? And please tell me you went to the dentist, because tooth and mouth things scare me like so much. And just like reading that, and that's why I read it so quickly, because if I read it the way I read it the first time, it freaked me out. So please, if you did something like that and you think, man, maybe it's okay, and you didn't tell your parents, just tell your parents, go to the dentist, get it checked out, because I'm telling you, if you did something wrong, like just get it done now, because if you wait, things always get worse. Like, if you have a cavity or something, like, I don't want to get a filling, right? 2 or 3 years from now, that cavity is going to end up a root canal and it's going to be 10 times worse. So just, please get it taken care of. Xavier Ramirez says, hey, what do you do while you wait for a video to get uploaded or published to YouTube? Well, uploading doesn't really take very long. The thing that takes forever is processing. And sometimes what I do is reload. I just mash the key because, horrible waiting for that. Shino1234ization asks, can you give us a preview trailer, like a 10-second video of the Minecraft parody? All right, just kidding. I know, what a troll, right? Nah, I've only really seen 5 or 10 seconds myself. Because here's the thing, when you have someone animating something, they really don't do, so they do the basics, like the wireframe type of stuff, but the render itself doesn't come until the end, until it's completely done, and then you do the render. So there's really no way to do a preview trailer. Bulbasaur Swag says, hey, why do you have more Crazy Craft episodes than Pixelmon? Well, the reason for that is because I do Crazy Craft twice a week and I do Pixelmon once a week. So yeah, it's just inevitable that there'd be more episodes. Sabika Khan says, could you do a thing that whenever someone is taken out of your clan, you comment on your latest Clash of Clans video that someone's no longer in, you have a free spot? Because it's really hard for me to get in. I'm always checking, but I never see an empty spot. Well, the thing is, when someone is taken out or leaves, some people have left on their own. But anyway, when that happens, there's really only about a minute or so before it gets refilled. So even if I was there, I removed the person, I immediately posted a comment on my video. The likelihood is that even if you were like, okay, you look at my video, oh, look, by the time you get your phone out or your iPad, get into Clash of Clans, find you'd be done. And just keep checking. It does happen. It has happened before. That people get in. So it's just really gotta be luck. I'm so sorry. I wish there was another way. Jerome Villanueva says, how often do you play Clash of Clans? Do you play it on any other day other than Thursday and Sunday? I play it every single day. Every single day. I only record it on Thursdays and Sundays. Well, not necessarily on Thursdays and Sundays. Sometimes I'll record Sunday's video on Saturday or Thursday's video on Tuesday. It depends on where I am in the series and whether or not I think I've accomplished enough between videos and what I want to accomplish between the next set of videos. So sometimes I'll record it on Tuesday because I know I need to record the next one on Saturday and there won't be enough time between Thursday and Saturday for me to do anything, that sort of thing. So yeah, but I play it every single day, multiple times a day. Charlie Casey asks, think why is Dave starting to get as crazy as Kevin has been like that for the past few videos? I don't think so. He's definitely not as crazy as Kevin. He does have a little adventure streak, but he's not crazy. He's a minion, so they are a little adventurous. They are a little naughty, and they do misbehave and act like children sometimes. So that's part of their natural behavior. But Dave is nothing like Kevin. Mr. GTA Gamer says, I think I've always wanted to ask you this. What is your favorite Things Lab episode? And I've answered this before. I think one time I was asked and I said Kevin and Juliet, I still really love that episode. Then I would have said the car race one. I really, really like that video. That one was really fun too. The Halloween one, that was a good one as well. But I don't know. I got to say that my Valentine's Day one might be my favorite now. And speaking of that, Aaron, Hutkai asks, are you gonna keep Holly around? And well, that's actually not up to me. That's up to Dave. If Dave and Holly can, continue to hit it off and everything, then she'll stick around. And if they can't, then she won't. So it's really not up to me. She's not my girlfriend. Mobile Kitty asks, what's the world record for how many times you had to restart a Things Lab video because you couldn't find the newest minion in Things Lab? Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Well, so here's the thing. I won't restart the whole intro part if I can't find the minion. What I'll do is because by the time I get down there, that means I've gotten through Kevin and Dave at the top. And if I've gotten through that and I've gotten a good take, then I'm not going to, leave it to some silly minion walking around the lab to ruin it. So what I'll do is re-jump down the tunnel and re-say whatever I'm saying, like, and it's a boy, and I'll catch right where I'm going so that I can sync it together. But yeah, but I mean, I've redone the intro with Kevin and Dave. Probably the worst was probably like, I don't know, 10 times before I actually got through that scene and got down the tube. Zendaya Remix Lyric says, why in the latest Things Lab did you use the name Zendaya Make Her a Zombie? Well, if you noticed, or if you look closely, and I'm sure most of you guys caught it, but every single girlfriend for Dave had their first name or their name as the same letter as the animal. So Wanda was a whale and Sarah was a spider. Well, Holly was a minion, but that's not the same. Berta was a bear. And I wanted to do a zombie, and I really don't know that many Z names for a girl. And Zendaya, every time I thought, okay, girl named Z, every time I thought of it, it was Zendaya. So it's not like it's not a reference to your favorite star, obviously, with your username or anything like that. It was just, I couldn't think of any other Z's. Gabriel Freeze asks, in the texture pack from Minions, are the purple ones from Dan's collab video there? No, it's just the two-eyed and one-eyed Minions in yellow. Oh, and the girls, of course. Dhruv Patel asks, what resource pack did you use in the Arcade Things Lab? It's called Modern HD, and just go to Google Modern HD Minecraft texture pack, and you'll find it. I use that occasionally in my city videos or in my Things Lab videos when I go to the city, because it makes things look a little better, and the arcade just didn't look right with the brick. But when I put on the Modern HD texture pack, it looked pretty good. David Ivanchikov asks, in Things Lab, you have carpet on signs. How? Well, it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is you put a block, then you put a sign on top of it, so it's sitting on the block, right? And then you apply the carpet to the block next to it. So it's over top of it, but it's sort of, you're putting it on the edge of the other block. It's pretty easy. Zoe Gappa asks, can you do the outro in Wanda's voice? Now I can try. I won't use the pitch correction on it. So it's just going to be me. So it won't be the girlish voice, but it'll just be me without the pitch correction and also without the cathedral effect on it. So here we go. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed Wow, this is going to take forever. Don't forget to leave your comment and the question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, Noodle on. Bye, guys.